it can be an emotional decision. Like when we can present people with all of these scriptures, we can make all of the arguments, but it's a lifetime decision. I think it's Luke 14 talks about Jesus speaking about counting the cost of discipleship, that it is a huge decision. I remember I was probably 12 or 13 at a meeting, and someone came up to me and asked if I wanted to lead a song, and I wasn't baptized yet. So I told him, oh, I haven't been baptized. And the guy looked at me and he just said, you need to work on that.
Woo.
And it was coming in hot, and it was something I've been thinking about it since I was 10. And so I'll be honest, I went in the car and I cried because I was like, it was just an emotional thing.
Yeah.
And I know people who have been converted as adults or young adults, and it wasn't something that someone just handed them the scriptures and they're like, oh, I guess I need to do it. But I've heard people that, I need to prove to myself that I can do this first, or whatever list of things. It can be an emotional thing.
Yeah.
And we need to give people some time, give them some grace to figure it out, because it's a big deal.
You have opened a can of worms, brother, because I feel very passionately about counting the cost. And I don't think that we should make this a sales pitch that ends in baptism. Hopefully people, as they listen to this, are absorbing some of that yes, baptism is essential, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're just getting wet. You're not saved, because it's an act of faith. And if we pressure, especially young people, but if we pressure folks to get dipped and they weren't ready, then they're not saved. I think about Matthew chapter 8, verses 18 to 22. And in my Bible, the little heading says the cost of following Jesus. And there's two men who come and declare their disciple, like they want to follow him. And this is crazy to me. I remember it's just recently that I started thinking about this verse in this context, but I just closed my Bible and lost my place. So Matthew chapter 8, let me get back over there. Verse 19, a scribe came up to him and said, Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go. By our reckoning, he should say, okay, be baptized. Jesus tells him, foxes have holes and birds of air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. Translation, you need to go figure out what this means. Can you really follow me? Go count the cost. And counting the cost, even that wasn't the purpose of baptism knots, counting the cost is a healthy conversation that all church leaders need to have, so that we don't have people trying to pressure or make it high stakes, this decision. You've got to see things through. And that might be the afternoon that you count the cost, but sometimes some of us need some more time.
I think showing grace in that process is huge.
Well, brother, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And I look forward to what we have in store for PSB in the future.